Hi guys, today we're going to be doing a review of the Olight R40 Seeker. So, let's just get some specs out of the way. We got a length of 5.62 inches or 143 millimeters. Weight is 5.53 ounces or 156.5 grams without the battery in it. With the battery in it, it weighs in at 8.65 ounces or 245 grams. The lens is ultra clear tempered glass with the anti-reflective coating, which seems to be, the anti-reflective coating pretty much with all the quality flashlight manufacturers, you're starting to see that in it on every single flashlight. Light source, the LED is one Cree XML2 LED. Let's see if we could get a snapshot. I know it's getting dark. I know we're going to try to work around nature. So there you go. We could sort of see it decently. And it's centered really well. Fail. Okay, body material is aircraft grade aluminum with the anti-scratch type 3 hard anodization. It's black, and you're not going to really scratch it. The only time you're really going to screw it up is when you drop it, for the most part. The battery is 12665, which is 4,000 milliamp per hour. Show you that. And the battery sits inside the light pretty snug, so it's pretty beefy. It's like about the size, probably of like a 12 gauge shotgun shell, but a little bit fatter. And that's the inside there. Two conductors, connectors. Contact points. Okay, so you have the warranty, which comes from Olight for 5 years. So yeah, you have the side switch, which turns it on or off. Also, I'll go into the modes a little bit after, but it does have a lockout function, so you can lock it out and you don't waste your battery, which is pretty cool. Pretty much like the rest of the standard quality flashlights, you have IPX8, which makes this flashlight waterproof up to 2 meters or down to 2 meters. Which I think I read one place in the IPXE is like it's going to function up to 30 minutes or something. I don't know. I read that off of Coast's website one time. Impact resistance of 1 meter or 3.2 feet. Yeah, I've dropped it and it still works perfectly fine. I maybe dropped it from here or something like that, and that's almost 5 feet because I'm like 5'2", 5'3", and it still worked perfectly fine. Not saying that's the best for your flashlight, but stuff happens. And yeah, peak candela is 19,600 candela. Accessories that come with the flashlight, you're going to get a guide on the different modes and how to use it. You get your warranty card, and you also you get the battery, which comes in the flashlight itself when you get it. You get a lanyard, which is on there. You got 2 spare O-rings, you get a micro USB cord, and you also get the USB power supplier, which means that little block that you plug into the wall and you plug that in. Yeah, I just call that the power cube, something like that, or the charger block. Amazon reviews on this flashlight are 4.3 out of 5 stars. The positives are pretty much almost everyone's talking about the output, praising the output, the throw, and the reliability of this flashlight. Also, the ability for you to be able to recharge this. If I didn't already state that, this is a rechargeable flashlight that you can recharge with a micro USB through the micro USB port built in the tail cap. Yeah. And when you're charging it around here in this green part, it'll glow either red if it still needs to be charged, or when it's done, it'll be glowing green. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That you don't need to waste your money. Negatives are pretty much a few people commented and left a negative remark because I guess on the Amazon listing before, it used to say if you buy it you would get a free little keychain light, and then they were complaining that they didn't get it. Which, I mean, if they bought it and it was either a freebie or they paid for the light, yeah, you have something to knock it down. But I mean, in general, I'm pretty sure it's just a freebie, and you're mainly after the night, and that doesn't really affect the performance or really reflect anything bad on the light. It just really reflects on they didn't get something, and the person who packed it didn't give them what they bought. Someone say that normal 650s won't work on the light, that you can't charge it or something like that. I don't know. I was sort of confused and thrown off by their thing, because at first they said it didn't work, but then they were saying that it would make the light work, but then it wouldn't charge in the light. So I don't know what's going on with them, because they were all over the place. I think it was the same guy. That's one of the same guys that said he didn't get his free light. Also, there was a guy that it may have been the same guy that said that he's like, you charge me $90 and you don't give me a focusable, zoomable beam. Like, the only real flashlights that I've seen that you can like focus the light are those like ones that you're gonna get at, like, I don't know, like the big box stores. Like, you're gonna go to Home Depot or something, you're gonna get those crap flashlights that could focus. I mean, I know they put out a lot of lumens, but I mean, this thing, it's got a decent reflector. You shouldn't need to focus it. It puts out output. You don't need to focus it. It's already in the beam. So I mean, yeah, I mean, the only real focusable flashlight that I have is that Nebo I did a review on a long time ago, and the focusable, I mean, personally, I would just want it already affixed with just the throw or something like that. I mean, but I could see the advantages if you could have something really close for like an inspection light or floodlight, so you could just see around, and then if you needed to, you could throw it. But I mean, in general, I've never really wanted something. I've always preferred throw rather than flood. So yeah, I mean, I'd rather see what's out ahead than what's in front of me, because I could see what's in front of me, and I could just turn on the light and see what's in front of me just by doing that. Or I could turn this on to turbo or high and see everything that's around me just by doing that. So I don't need to have two different turn on mode things by having flood or throw. I like being able to, if I need to, just turning it on and seeing what's way out there, just being able to just make myself laugh or something like that just by making it throw really far. Yeah, so that was the other complaints. Alright, I'll be putting a link to this. I don't know how long the sale is going to be going on for, but at Going Gear, for I think the Black Friday weekend, they have this Olight R40 Seeker for $89.95, which is a steal, because I got this for $120 in Amazon and Knife Center, and your average price is going to be $120. MSRP on this flashlight is $140. So at $90, you are saving $30 more than me, and you could put that towards another flashlight, knife, whatever you want to do. So I mean, that's that's a pretty good deal. So I'll put a link to that in the description. Yeah. So one thing to note: it's cold right now. It's California. It's probably like 50 something, and that is cold to me. I'm wearing a jacket, and my hands are freezing. And even though this is in my pocket, I've been holding it, the aluminum is still cold. One thing to note: your hands will be cold if it's cold when you're using this flashlight. Applications for this knife, as listed on it, it's saying like you could do, as from the manufacturer, you could use this for like when you're hiking or camping like that, just around the house, just to have it around the house, or tactical applications like law enforcement and other such. I mean, personally, again, like I've heard, like even Prepared My 101 said, I mean, people like normally think of like the tail switch. I mean, I would prefer that for a tactical light, but he does make an excellent point saying they used to use mag lights and the button was on the side. So I mean, yeah. Yeah, so I mean that's a good statement. I mean, it's true. I mean, even though the button's on the side, it's not preferable for the tactical application. You can still use this light. Yeah. What else was I gonna say? The tactical applications and oh yeah. I could see this as a good search and rescue light too, because you have throw and it puts out a high, you got a high output and you can recharge it. That way you don't you could carry around like one of those portable power banks with you or something like that, or have an extra Olight battery and throw that in if this dies. And it's got good throw, and it's got good throw, it's got high output, you can see a good ways away. So yeah. One thing to note: if this thing falls, make sure your feet are not in the way, because if you are, you're gonna want to cut your foot off, because it's gonna hurt a lot once it hits your foot, because this thing's heavy, and when it hits, it drops like an elephant that just died out of nowhere and fell from the sky. It's gonna hurt. Trust me, I've dropped it on my toes plenty of times. And I thought the Phoenix UC40 was bad. This thing's horrible. And when this thing drops, we have hardwood floors at the house. When it drops, it sounds like a meteor just landed in the middle of the night, because it's heavy, and when it drops from like right here out of your pocket, that's like 3 feet up, and it sounds like Santa Claus came crashing in with his whole sleigh and screwed everything up. So it's heavy, and it makes an impact. So get your feet out of the way, and when it falls, it's gonna be loud. So if it's in your pocket, you're someone that likes to have a flashlight with you, this flashlight or a flashlight with you all the time, and you're getting up from the couch and it drops, it might wake someone up at night if you're someone that watches TV late at night. Yeah. So about this guide. The accessories, this comes in the box. It's a little black box that comes at the bottom of your packaging box. It writes down here. Your flashlight's gonna be sitting on it, and you got all the stuff that is listed, that I listed above. You got your charger cable, your O-rings, and then your lanyard. The only thing I got out here was the lanyard and your charging block. And then this is just pretty much gives you a rundown. Oh, I didn't say the lumens for some reason. Lumen output, mode 1, which is high, is 1,100 lumens, and you're going to get a runtime out of that of 2 hours. And this thing gets really hot, so watch out for that. I mean, one time I forgot this thing on for like 15-20 minutes, and it was burning hot. It could have literally, if I held it on my hand for a decent while, it could have actually produced like a 1st-degree burn or more. So this thing will get hot, so watch out about that. Another thing is, you can use it as a hand warmer if it's cold. Mode 2, which is your medium mode, is 250 lumens, and you're going to get a 7-hour runtime on that. So so that's a fair amount, and that lights up a decent amount too. I mean, your 1,100, that's going to reach out and touch really far, and you're going to see everything around you. I just like using the highest output for some reason, but for most applications, you really only need either medium or low. Your low mode is or your mode 3 or low is 12 lumens, and you're getting 100 hours of that. That's like 4.25 day. So you're getting on low mode. You're getting a lot of runtime out of that. And for general EDC around the house or just up close use, that's what you're going to be using, and it's really effective at that. And you're not gonna, you're not gonna have any problems with that. Sometimes you may want a less dimmer light. It might suck because this does like light up a lot. So I mean, if you get up and use this as your main light, you get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, you don't want to wake up the kids or the wife or whoever your significant other is. It's a little bit brighter. It's 12 lumens. It's not going to be something like a Firefly mode on another flashlight. So yeah, that's one thing to also take into consideration when using it around someone else in the middle of the night if they're light sensitive. And then, as you've seen too, it does have a strobe, and that's putting out your 1,100 lumens. Runtime on that, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's way over 100 hours because flashlights normally they last longer, even though it's using high, because it's cycling on and off. It conserves battery when it's off. Yeah, so yeah, and I didn't find anything like that. Your maximum, does it say your throw? Yeah, it says 280 meters a throw. So that's a fair amount. I mean, that's way over a football field. And we'll do a little bit of demoing right now. After I'll just pause this and then we'll turn back on. I'll turn off these backlights because it got dark, so I needed at least some light so you could see me and we could talk. And yeah, but yeah, so pretty much, yeah. And when it says hot surface on this one, you should believe it. Yeah, so pretty much I really love this light. I really do recommend it. And yeah, oh, I forgot to show you guys how to lock yourself out. You don't want to do that to your house though. Yeah, so you got 3 different modes. That's going to be your low. It's your low. Press and hold it like about 1 second. After it's already on, you're going to switch to your next mode, and that's your medium, 250 lumens. Hold it again, that's your 1,100, and do that, and you can cycle it. You strobe warning, you press and tap it from off or on twice, and you will have your strobe of 1,100 lumens. Now to lock yourself out, this is the button. It's a little plastic button, and it has a little indicator on it. So when it's dying, like the battery's almost dead, there's a little ring right in there. You can see that little light ring on the button. That will light up red and flash red when it's dead. So what we're going to do is we're going to press and hold it, and it's going to turn on, and then it's going to turn off, and then we're locked out. As you can see, that means we're locked out. No matter how much we press it, it's not going to turn on. You're going to have to press and hold it, and then your flashlight turns on. So I mean, I carry this in a Night Eyes belt holster, and this thing, because I've carried it in it so long, it slips down, and the button will get depressed, and then it'll be on. So one way you could remedy that, and this doesn't come with a holster or anything like that, so you either go buy a holster or you carry this in your pocket. So if you don't want it turning on and wasting your battery, you're going to lock yourself out. I mean, you could lock yourself out for the day, during the daytime, because you're most likely not even going to need it. And if you do need it, something like if you have a keychain light, if you have your little keychain light and you need to see something in the closet, the supply closet or what have you, I mean, your little keychain light should serve it, and then you could use this for night. But is this the only thing you could do? It's easy. You could unlock it. I mean, you're not really good. It's not gonna take that much out of your day to wait like 2 seconds or 1 second to turn it back on. So yeah, it takes about 3 seconds to lock yourself out, and about 2 or about the same time to unlock yourself. So yeah, I really recommend this flashlight. This is like, I don't know, I'm torn between the UC40. I like the UC40. It's skinnier, it doesn't weigh as much, and it's still pretty bright, but it is a floodlight, whereas this one heavier, bigger, and but it puts out a little bit more lumens, about like 140 lumens more, and it's a throw. But again, it is bigger and wider, so you get a trade-off too when you're getting these high-powered lights that throw a lot. They are going to be bigger and they are going to be longer, and their bezel is going to be wider. So yeah. So overall, I still recommend it. I love this light. Someone tried telling me, "Oh, I'll trade you for that flashlight a few Zippos." Now, I could have took them. Could have took the offer because they do have some rare ones, and they have like hundreds of Zippos. But I really like my flashlight. Oh, and variation. My dad also has the same one, and my beam and my flashlight is a little bit brighter on max output for some reason. Putting it side by side, it is. And this thing is super durable because my dad gets almost the same flashes that he had, the UC40. He has the E21, and he also has this flashlight. And it works extremely well, and it still works for him. And this thing, his has been dropped, thrown, it's been wet. Mine's have been dunked in water too plenty of times. It's dropped in the water and still perfectly fine because this thing is waterproof, and this seal on the back makes it perfectly fine. His has been ran over with this truck. He's ran it over and it's been stuck in the mud. I kid you not. I've pulled this thing out of the dirt in front of the house after it's been in the dirt for about a week. It still works. And yeah. So also, I seen a comment on Amazon saying that their battery died out after 6 months. My battery's still going strong. My dad's battery's still going strong. May have just been a fluke that he got, but I mean, as for me, with 2 flashlights, in terms of output, yeah, I could see if he had a comment saying something about variance in output. But the battery, our batteries are still going strong. So I mean, I don't think that should be too much of a concern for you guys if you feel like picking this flashlight up. Yeah, so let me get these things turned off, and then we'll do some output tests, and we'll just do that. Yeah, all right, thanks. Hi guys. So we are gonna be doing our brightness demo. Yeah. So hey, that actually kind of works if I put it right at the tripod, kind of. Yeah, so we're gonna be doing our brightness demo, and I know it looks extremely dark on the screen, but there's still some light out. The sun's almost completely gone. You can still see some orange, like in the like sort of like an orange-yellow gradient, still like right above the hills. The sun has set, but there's still some light ambient. So it sort of works good because it looks pitch black for you guys, as you can see. But yeah, so I have a wall maybe about 30 feet in front of the camera, maybe 30 to 40 feet, and we're gonna start off with low. And don't mind the dogs barking. My dad and my sister just got here to my grandma's house, so you can't really see the flood on this light, but you do see the main beam. So yeah, it's pretty much working really well. You could overall, I mean, even with this, you can't see the flood. But if I put it like right where the tripod is, right underneath the camera, practically everything except for this area on the tree is lit up. So yeah. So let's step it up. We're gonna go 250. And now you can see the flood. So, okay, now you could really see everything. And like that, if I put it right next to the tripod, this whole backyard is practically, except for, again, right at that retaining wall and up there on the hill behind the shack is illuminated. But pretty much everything back here, you could see what's back here. And you could see, Calm down, Carlos. So yeah, our furry friends are barking, and they're also making an appearance in our shot. Okay, so as we can see, everything is just lit up, and we got a nice intense center beam. So let's knock it up to a high output, 1100 lumens. So yeah, so I'd probably estimate the flood part of this light probably being about maybe at least a couple hundred lumens, maybe about 200 lumens. Yeah, so I mean, even then, it still lights up really well. And yeah, so like this, right at the tripod, everything except for the halo there is lit up. So you could see everything, and you could see pretty far with this thing. And yeah, now I don't know if we'll see it on camera, but let's try it out. Okay, so this is a skyline. All right, so right now I'm gonna center a palm tree, which is at the bottom of the block, which is about I don't know, at least a football field away. Yeah, we're not really seeing it. We're not really seeing this light on it, but in person you can see it. It lights it up. Let's see. Let's take it back a little bit. Let's see if we can see anything. At least we could see that one tree that's right there that looks sort of yellowish below it. That's lighting up. That tree's about probably like it's about 75% of the way down the block. I'd say it's 3/4 of a football field, probably about 75 yards or so. And this is what ambient light, city light pollution, that we can see that. So yeah, so this light does really well. In person, you could see a whole bunch. It's lighting up all the way down there. In fact, it's hitting reflectors and sort of lighting up a house that's way over there. Yeah. So it's sort of lighting up a house that's maybe about like 1/8 of a mile away or something like that, like at least 500 to 700 yards away. So yeah, I mean, you could even see this you could see this light in the daytime, even when it's on high, to signal someone. And just to show the strobe, 2-click strobe warning. So that's the strobe, and it only does one frequency of strobe. It just stays doing that. It doesn't switch over to a different type and then back to another one. It just does one strobe. So yeah, thanks for stopping by, guys. I hope you liked the review. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to leave them in the comment section, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Let's see if we can see this. Okay, bye.